Okay, as promised, um, this is my Sesame Street. As you see here, this is Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois. This is my semi-truck. This is my base. That's my start point. These two sticks here X marks the spot. You can kind of calculate that that is Chemtrails. And this one is quite obvious. What's that, you think? That's our sun. The red line here is the sun's course over the sky. It's funny how it's blinking. Why is it doing that? That is a little weird. Okay, interesting. Well, then I have these two crossed, and the reason why I have painted them like this is because often these types of clouds, which I call the canopy, comes out either in a zigzag or in a square pattern, and they pretty much lie over the sky like that, and they look. There's two types I have seen. That is one that is stretching the entire horizon towards the west, and I can't see how big it is, how much room it takes up on the horizon in reality, because it's too big for me to watch that far away. But some of them are like this, a little skimpy, long, tongue shape kind of, also in this square zigzag patterns, and I often see them, and you have seen them on my videos too, and you've seen the pictures too. You just go back and look. And often if they are lying like this and blocking the sun, so you can't see it, but the sun is there and there's lots of light. And sometimes it is that one which is blocking, and it's so big that I can't see past it and see, is there something behind this canopy? Because when you look at it up in the sky, it's very flat. It's like a piece of bread. It's just a slice, kind of. Looks like a pizza. If you get my point, just a slice. They're not raising up in height up above like cumulus clouds do. They're just the exact same height all the way over, and they're covering the sun often, or they're just lying in an area. So that light, which is coming over towards the west, is not receiving because the sun is up here. So that one is creating a shadow, as you see. You can see the shadows being created, right? So if that one is following, then the sun is above and you cannot see the sun, but you can see where it is. And sometimes it's just like that. Just a tongue sticking in over it, and not really taking up a big part of the sky, and the rest of the sky is, well, if you look not at the horizon, you will see that the sky is bluish. I want to say regarding plasma TVs and LCD TV screens, they cannot give the same colors as real natural colors, and that is why you're seeing the sky look baby blue. They cannot copy the exact color of the sky, and I will come to that in part 4 and explain to you what I'm talking about. But that's just to put it out there for you to ponder about. And these two props here I call the veil. There's a thin one, which is often associated with the sunrise. When I was driving, for the first year I was driving for my company, I had my route from Indianapolis to Columbus, Ohio on I-70. So when I get over here, it's around, if I have a good start, I'm over there around 5 o'clock. And if they're nice, I will be out of there in half an hour and return. What I see in the horizon then, when I'm driving out towards Indiana, when I'm coming a little part up there, I kind of see that there is this pinkish orange line, and that is what I'm illustrating here on the edge. And behind that edge of this pinkish line, it's darkness. And I can see the light is beginning to get clearer and clearer. And I even showed you in one of my videos how I was underneath it. And while I was driving towards Indianapolis, it just moved away from me and disappeared and lied out in the horizon again. And I could still see it. And when the sun came over and got high enough to really give off not reddish light, but an orange light, but what we is when it's up high, at least 30 degrees above the horizon, this line disappears, and it is being exchanged with a darker horizon all around. Wherever you look around, north, west, and south, and even east, you can see there's this kind of like a wall. You're looking at some. Yeah, it looks like the sky is kind of dirty, if you want my opinion. It's bluish, grayish, darkness. It's just plain ugly to look at. But in the morning, what I often saw when I was here and left, that was they were already in there and marking the spot, saying good morning, right? And this veil is kind of hiding the sun. And in the end, the sun finally, you know, hiding the sun. That would be like that above it, right? And when the sun comes longer in, we also see in the rise of the sun this pinkish orange line through the horizon. Even in the east, we see that. I see that, and my videos have also shown that. And then the sun passes, and this one again, like the other side over here, is retracting and leaving behind this, as I talked about, all around in the horizon. You see this darker line, which is lying, well, I would say maybe 10 degrees above the horizon. You can see that's the difference between the darker area and the light area in the blue. But during the day, what I see, depending on the wind direction, if the wind is coming from the north, which is doing a little too often now, I think, that is not normal, we see that the chemtrails is mainly positioned in front of the sun because the chemtrails are drifting with the wind, right? You understand me? And that's what they're doing, and they keep crisscrossing to make sure that they are doing something in front of the sun, whether it's to hide Nibiru, whatever you want to call it, I don't know. And when they're kind of done doing that, then this thing is coming in and blocking our sun. If you get my point, you can't see it from the ground, but you can see it's behind this thing. And sometimes it's like that. But now I'm driving after a year driving this way, and I have paid a lot of attention to what I've been seeing. Put the sun over there again. Now I go to St. Louis, East St. Louis in Illinois, and now everything changes. Everything. Now I want to show you something, because when I was driving this way, I started 1 a.m. to 1 p.m. And now I have a day shift, and finally I get to sleep with my wife again. That's wonderful. And now I drive from 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. on this stretch. So when I'm here, it's just broad daylight. There's really nothing to kind of, talk about, except these are present or this one is present. This one is not present yet, but still out in the horizon, wherever I'm looking, I'm having this dark line even behind me where the sun is. And over here, of course, when I'm coming in, which is rather late because it's a 4-hour drive. Oh man, the sun is being run down. Again, they're all chemtrailing around the sun. Let's just take these out for a second. Let me show you this. When I then return, and when I get around Effingham, it's starting to get darker. And the sun is beginning to set. And I got some, yeah, it looks like another planet, pretty much. The sun is simply just buried in chemtrails over here, and everybody in Illinois will know what I'm talking about. If you're living in St. Louis, you see this every day, pretty much. At sunset, the sun is simply just being buried in chemtrails. So when I come over to Effingham and it's beginning to get dark, I'm seeing the same exact thing again as I see I saw when I was going east, going west back. In that whole year I was driving this stretch. So I'm beginning to see this one showing up because of the sunset, the reflection of onto something. And sometimes you see there's a few stickers, chemtrails sticking out from this dark edge, which is lit up orange, equivalent to the same color as the sunset is on my rear. So when I come in here, this thing is moving. Sun is buried already. It's finished. We don't want to see that, right? This thing is moving. I can see the darkness behind this orange line I see in the horizon towards the east. The sun is already setting, as I said. So I'm moving towards, and I'm in Effingham around there, and I'm moving towards, and this one is coming towards me. And at some point, this disappears and simply just become like that, uniform, dark bluish gray. Again, this dirty look to it. But when it passes in over me like that, and I'm coming past it, and the darkness takes in, then stars starting to appear, and it really looked like I got it on video. I'm gonna put in a few minutes and show you. And I also want to show you something about holograms and how advanced they are today. So when I come in under here, I see stars, and then it's just darkness. So that's what I see, and this is the best way I can describe what I'm seeing out there. And I have the benefit that I'm going in the right direction, that I'm not going like this, because that'll make it more difficult. Here I have an opportunity to follow the sun's path and what they're doing. And out here I got so much view. I can see the whole sky, basically. When I get up on a hill, I see everything out there, everything. You might wonder why um, the title to this presentation is called Liquid 3D Skies, or Liquid Skies 3D Hologram. That's my wife's idea, because as I will show you in the next episode after this, how it is possible that aluminum can be soluble in water, and barium can be soluble in water, and strontium can be soluble in water. And also that these components that they are using actually are also being used in the projection of holograms. So I think I'm on to something. I think we are looking something like not a real sky anymore. And I have been talking about that for a while. I'd say it's fake clouds, it's a fake heaven, there's something terribly wrong in what I'm looking at. And, you know, there's always those people out there that don't want to see it, and maybe they just pretty much get scared of their wits, because something inside everybody of us knows something is not entirely correct anymore. Everything is kind of skewed, if you like. But this is what I see. And this was what blew my mind when this one came in the other day like that, and looked like it was getting overcast, and it looked like a dirty, real dark line with this orange fading out to the sunset equivalent. And then it just became this blackness, and it came in over me, and then it was just black, and then I could just see the stars, and there was no clouds, and it was like a blanket was dragged in over me, and I actually felt quite uncomfortable watching what I was watching, because I knew this is not possible. This is simply not possible. But that's what happened, and I saw the same way. But this moved away from me. I didn't come in under it. This moved away with me. In the first year I was driving in the sunrise, and it simply just moved away. It disappeared. I actually was in under it, and then it just Of course, it moves faster than I do, so I go 60 miles an hour. I don't know how fast this one is going, but it's like the blanket is being dragged away, and daylight is exposed to us, and the sun is allowed to be here, and we are spraying the crap out of it, and we are burying the sun in weird square clouds. That's all I have to say in this episode. Follow up.